Good morning. Have you ever seen cows that have been in a shed all winter because the fields are too wet, and then in the spring they're let out? And on the day they're let out, they come out bouncing, springing all over the place, full of joy that at long last they can get into the fields. Where am I going with this? Malachi chapter 4 and verse 2. It says, "For you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall rise with healing in its wings. You shall go out leaping like calves from the stall." It's a lovely thing to watch those cows full of joy. And we have a time of joy to look forward to. But how do we get there? How do we reach that point? Because we know that in Daniel and Revelation it talks about a time of distress, a great tribulation. Now, I've been asked to comment on Watchtower's new idea that you can still have time to repent during the great tribulation. My question is, do you want to take the risk? Matthew chapter 25. The parable of the 10 virgins. Jesus said this, verse 1. "The kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom." Now we know the story. 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. They had lamps. Now these lamps are only small with little spouts where the flame comes out. It won't hold a lot of oil. So if you're wise, you will take extra oil in a little bottle or a receptacle in your pocket. The 5 wise ones did that, and the 5 foolish ones didn't. So they were drowsing, and then the call comes that the bridegroom is on his way, and they trim the lamps, make them tidy, make them bright. But the foolish ones, their lamps have gone out. And they have to go off to the cellars to see can they buy some more oil. In the meantime, the wise ones have entered the feast of the bridegroom. So the foolish ones then come along, and they're a bit late, so they knock on the door and they say, "Lord, open to us." And he says, "I don't know you." They're too late. Too late. Do we want to be too late? So what is the oil? Now, according to the commentaries, Matthew Henry, I think, he was saying it's what you have in your heart. Do you have a great love of God? Do you have faith, a lot of faith, that's built up over your knowledge that you've gained from the scriptures over a long time? This faith, have you got any in reserve? And why do we need it? Revelation chapter 7. And it talks here about many, many people coming out of a great tribulation. And how do they come out? The angel says in verse 14, "They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb." Their faith has got them through this great tribulation. So the question is, if you haven't got faith before the tribulation starts, how are you going to accumulate some and have some in reserve if you only start in the Great Tribulation? So, keep your faith strong now. Now, here's a thought for you. Are we already at the beginning of that time of distress? Why do I say that? Well, already we are dealing with severe wars and threats of it getting far worse. We have floods, fires, droughts. All of these extremes are making it difficult for us to grow food. The supplies are running low. Now, if we've built up faith, if we know the stories, the historical accounts of Elisha, Elijah, the judges, Jesus' miracles, we will know that God can get us through this difficult time of tribulation. But if you don't have that faith, how are you going to get through this difficult time? So, as it says in the book of Luke, chapter 12, he said in verse 35, "Stay dressed for action and keep your lamps burning. Keep your faith strong. Keep your love of God alive." Why? Because Jesus said, in verse 40, you must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. So if you have any comments on this, please put them below. We need faith now to get us through this difficult time. Now, I know some of you are snowed under at the moment, and you are in our prayers that you will be okay. Keep your faith strong. You'll survive. Take care, and God be with you.